Okay, so this is my review of the first 3 episodes of the new Apple TV Plus series, Servant. This is the big project helmed by M. Night Shyamalan. He actually is the creator of the show, and he directed the first episode. And the cast here, we got a lot of familiar faces. We got Toby Kebbell, who you might recognize from his Black Mirror episode. Also, he was in that train wreck of a movie, Fantastic Four. And we have Lauren Ambrose from 6 Feet Under, Rupert Grint, aka Ronald Weasley, and Nell Tiger Free here, who plays Leanne, the sitter. She is actually a familiar face from Game of Thrones, as she was Cersei's daughter who died. So a lot of faces they throw in there. I love that it's a small cast of 4 main players here. And this kind of plays like the movie Rosemary's Baby, where it's kind of coming from Sean's perspective at first, and you're kind of learning about his wife as it goes on, because she's the most out there character so far, which starts to get competition here with Leanne, which kind of throws you for a loop, because you kind of got 2 people that are really just out there, and you're wondering, there's mystery behind what is going on with them, and why it's such good mystery in the show already. In just 3 episodes, you have the main mystery of what exactly happened to the original baby that they keep hinting at, and you have this mystery of what is the real deal with this sitter in Leanne. So that is something that M. Night Shyamalan's always really good at, is building mystery. The problem with him is how he delivers them recently, and unsatisfying twists. But what makes this show to me exciting is because it's a show. It's a full episode slate here for M. Night Shyamalan to show what he can do in a show format. Maybe that actually works out better for him. So far, I think it works really well. It lets kind of things breathe a bit. And I think what got me excited about this show is that it is putting effort into the characters here. I'm going to say for now, though, the character Julian, played by Rupert Grint, is the weakest. And I actually have issues with his dialogue. He seems like the one character who's written as someone who's not real, like in the sense of who talks like that or who says things like that. I've noticed a lot of his lines, it's very wooden. I'm not blaming the actor for it. I'm actually directly blaming the writing on his character. It's the weakest writing. It's so strange, though, because everyone else's dialogue is great. But anytime he says a line, it just feels off. But we'll see. That might flesh out more. And I think they'll give his character more story as it goes on. But the other 3 have really been written well. I mean, the complications here of Dorothy, the wife, and what is she really the one who's to blame here for just being like nuts and not being rational and having this doll baby? Or what exactly did this husband do that the brother know about? They were there. I mean, at least we could think the brother was there too. And you're just constantly hint at things that the husband did. Like, clearly the wife was cheated on at some point by him, and he slept with a whore, some sense, because that's what she keeps alluding to. You see that when she's about to go to dinner with him, and she also mentions stuff like this when he's showing her all the marks on his butt. She always teases about that. And even your first scene when you meet him, where they talk about what sibling you are and how he's an only child and how he's the selfish type. So it's interesting, and she says he's a critic. He is critical of everything. He's not a likable guy, but you do feel for him in a situation. But I do kind of feel like the tide's going towards a reveal that he did something pretty bad revolving around this baby. Now, what is interesting is the religious aspect they threw in here with the sitter and Leanne, and how she has this cross that she hangs, and it's clearly her, obviously, that gets pissed off when Sean takes it down, and then he splinters his foot, he's got marks on his butt, and he gets it in his food. So she's clearly does not like him, knows he's the one who did that. And everyone's here got their like own agendas, but you can't really read what their end game is, each character, and I think that's what makes it the most interesting and where it works the best. But we'll see. I mean, I'm a little worried in like how this is gonna pull off for like 10 episodes, and how it fills that in and fills the time, and it just doesn't feel like a whole stretched out movie by M. Night Shyamalan. And each episode's short, which is 30 minutes, which I do like, but it makes me also worry that they're worried that they couldn't fill this story and they might have had to stretch it. But that's just me projecting and predicting there. But so far, so good. I do enjoy it. It's got that Shyamalan feeling, again, with the spooky camera angles he's notorious for doing, making you just feel a sense of just eeriness. Even the first shot I love of the series, where we see the sitter and Leanne when she gets to the door, and it's just shot from so far away, and is making use of just one set here of this house and making it interesting where that can get really boring fast if you're just in one location, but they do a really good job at it. And the music with the spooky violins, classic Shyamalan here. And I think that it's interesting because when people saw this trailer, there's a lot of worry about seeing the doll, but I think the coolest thing is that it's really not this show about a baby doll. That's just the first episode. It becomes more of just a mystery of what happened to their kid prior, which I'm happy about because I think that would have turned a lot of people off. And even the first episode, you're kind of like, all right, where's this going? Is this just an elongated version of Black Mirror? But it's not. They switch and put a real baby in. You're not sure if it is the original baby or not. And I think that just makes it a little more interesting and less generic and falling into kind of tropes here in the mystery genre or sci-fi, if you say, about the baby. But I think that it is one of those shows that could clearly in the next 2 episodes either sky up to a really good show or completely fall apart because it has such a strong setup here. But you've seen stories like this before, and they can land it or they can completely fail. And again, Shyamalan had our trust in the beginning, and he's kind of lost it with viewers. So can he regain it here? I think that's exciting just to watch as a film or TV fan here. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of theories you can build from this and what's actually going on. I think it was interesting to see, too, with the babysitter that when the couple was out to dinner and Julian arrives, she's just kind of imitating Dorothy. And that's like her figure of how to be like a woman. She wants to be this type of woman. And she clearly has no parental figures here that she has any like learning of how to be an adult, and she's taking it all from her. And they do that so well in the scenes with Julian here where she sexually grabs him. And it's funny because Julian also is hinted at like looking for a girl, and you don't know where his mind may be, and I'm sure that will end up being his death is his problem with lust here against his senses. So I'm interested to see that. Yeah, and also just Dorothy as a character, like why is she freezing like that? And look how the husband takes interest in that when it happens and just wants to see like what's going on in a weird way. And him and Julian can be shady about stuff too. They don't really want to let her know anything involved. They're almost too protective of her, and it seems like they're completely hiding something. And I thought the weirdest thing was when they said, do you think she'll wake up? It's been 6 weeks, so what the hell does that mean? Please, please, please let me know what your theories are on that. I'm super curious. But overall, for me, I'm giving this as a whole for the first 3 episodes together, I'll give it an 8.3. But that definitely can go up here. It's got a good setup. But again, I have some problems with the character and Julian's writing. And I think that the pace can pick up a little bit. And I just hope that this doesn't dry out quick and just keeps interesting and keeps fresh. So we'll see. I'm keeping my hopes here. I know M. Night Shyamalan. I know he can break your heart. So let's just hope they stick the landing. Let me know what you thought of this episode down below and any theories you have. Let's get the discussion going down here. And please, please subscribe so you don't miss one of my reviews of Servant. I'll be doing every episode. And please follow me at SteveVarley1 on Twitter and Instagram for more of me. And I'll see you next time.